Good morning, I'm Lindsay. Welcome to 10 at 10, where I'll be leading us through some breathing and gentle yoga movement to help us start our day. So we're going to begin in a comfortable seat. So just take a moment here to settle in, allowing yourself to really find that connection of your sits bones to the ground. You might take that rock and roll to establish that for yourself. Letting your hands come to rest gently on your lap. As you let your shoulders come over your hips. You may find a slight tuck of your chin as the back of your neck lengthens. And just begin to notice your breath. Tune into the rhythm of the rise and the fall of your belly. As you inhale, exploring that sense of expansion. As you exhale, allowing for that sense of surrender. And as you follow your breath here, taking a moment to tune in or acknowledge how you feel right now. How you feel physically, any sensations or tensions that arise. How you feel emotionally, or any feelings that come up for you here. And then I'd like to invite us into this intention of grounding or rooting. Physically to this space, you might notice the weight of your hips grounding down. At the same time, feeling the ground rise up to support and hold you here. Giving yourself a round or two of breath to settle into this intention. This sense of grounding and rooting. And on your next breath, slowly start to blink open your eyes or find that point of focus just in front of you. And then we're going to move right into a tabletop shape. So spreading your fingers wide, shoulders over wrists, hips over knees, and just begin to find that cat-cow movement. As you inhale, dropping your belly, lifting your gaze. As you exhale, rounding your spine, dropping your gaze. Inhale, cow pose, gaze lifts, belly drops. Exhale, cat pose, spine rounds, gaze drops. Take about 3 more here, or just move into some organic movement. Shapes that feel good, rolling through your hips, sinking into a child's pose. As you move here in whatever way that feels good for you this morning, continue to establish that sense of rooting and connection. So feeling your hands grounding down, your knees grounding down, and at the same time that sensation of the ground rising up to meet you. Coming through that neutral tabletop, and from here tucking your toes, sending your hips up and back, taking your downward facing dog. And then finding that bend, one knee and then the other, letting that turn into a walk that takes you to the middle of your mat. So coming into a forward fold right at center here, giving that bend in your knees, that weight of your head, maybe a little shake of your spine. And on an inhale, begin to roll up. Find that tuck of your tailbone, that stacking of vertebra on vertebra. As you arrive, letting your head be that last piece that comes on top, and then sweeping your arms up and around. Deep inhale. As you exhale, send it into your forward fold once more. And
then as you come into that forward fold, walk your feet so that your toes are facing the long end of your mat, and just begin to walk your feet out so that you come into this wide-legged forward fold. You might allow your toes to be a little in, your heels a little out. Gentle bend in your knees, and then just let your torso come between your thighs. Let your head and neck be heavy. You might grab for your shins or your thighs, giving a gentle pull as your heart presses towards your legs. Deep inhale here. As you exhale, slowly release any grip that you have. Bring your hands under your shoulders, finding a flat back here. And then walk your hands either side of that right foot. We're gonna come through a lunge and take it right down into a low lunge. So drop that right knee down and walk your hands on top of that, left knee down. Walk your hands on top of that right thigh. And then again, think of that sense of rooting and grounding. So really pressing down that right foot, finding this engagement through your thighs that gives you this gentle lift upward. And then reaching your hands up overhead. Take that right hand to your left wrist, give a gentle pull up as you inhale. As you exhale, take a side stretch up and over, using the strength of that right hand to guide your left hand a little bit deeper. Inhale here, and exhale. Inhale, hands come back up through center, and then drop your hands down either side of that right leg, and lengthen that leg coming into this half splits shape. So as you find this shape, you might keep a little bend in that right knee. Maybe that leg totally lengthens out. Either way, think again, that rooting sensation into your right heel. Roll that right hip back, find a bit more length in your spine. Deep inhale. As you exhale, surrender your torso down. Allow that rounding into your spine, that heaviness into your head and neck. Finding one more inhale. Stay for that exhale. As you inhale, walking your hands back either side of that right foot, tuck through those back toes, and then make that transition all the way to the other end of your mat. Bringing your hands either side of that left foot, drop that right knee down, and then walk your hands to the top of that left leg. And again, establish that sense of rooting and grounding through that left foot that gives you this lift up. So thighs work in opposition here to give you that length towards the ceiling. Let your hands reach overhead. This time that left hand grabs your right wrist. Inhale, gives you that reach up. Exhale, take it up and over, expanding your ribs. Deep inhale. Stay for that exhale. Inhale, release that. Hands come down either side of that left leg, and extend that leg coming into your half splits. Again, playing with maybe taking that leg totally long, maybe keeping that gentle bend. Wherever you're at, root through that left heel. Roll that left hip back. Give length to your spine. Find an inhale here, and as you exhale, let yourself surrender, rounding your spine, letting your head and neck become heavy as those left toes flex back towards your knee. Inhale here. Stay for your exhale. Inhale, hands walk either side of that left foot, tuck through those back toes, and walk your hands back to the middle of your mat. And then let your head and neck go, let your torso be heavy. Let's start to walk your feet in, coming into a forward fold. Give yourself one full breath here in this forward fold. And then drop your hips down and come back through that
comfortable seat, that place of rooting and grounding, and we'll just return for 3 breaths to reestablish, reconnect to that intention. So feeling this physical sense of our sits bones, our hips, the whole lower half of our body, grounding and rooting, while at the same time, this sense of the ground rising up to support us. Deep inhale and exhale. Allowing yourself 2 more of these breaths. As you inhale, bringing your hands to heart center. Bowing your head towards your hands. Namaste. Thank you all for joining me this morning. I hope you have a wonderful day. I'll see you tomorrow morning at 10.